Hey, well, good evening, Internet. It's me, DP Knudten, for another edition of Bookward Bound, my 301-day journey from I should really do this to done. And what does that mean? Well, it means 301, well, not quite 301 days, but say 204 days ago, I set myself out on a quest to write a brand new book that I would have ready for uploading to Amazon's Kindle Direct Publishing space by January 1st of 2021. Yep, on Friday, March 5th, I set out to do live streams every single night, writing a book, moving it forward in one form or another, and tonight is episode 204. So I've actually done 204, technically 202 consecutive live streams because I was sick for 2 days in a row. But yeah, I hate the fact that that happened, but it did happen. But it didn't stop me from coming back and actually continuing on this journey, working to write a book, which is actually called NONFICTION BRAND, Discover, Craft, and Communicate, the completely true, completely you brand you already are. And that's what I'm doing every night, coming down here, working on the book in one form or another in order to get this actually done by December 31st of 2020, so that I can upload it the very next day. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. It's kind of stupid, but it's par for my golf course, so that's what I'm doing. That said, what am I working on tonight? Well, actually, today was a Saturday, and Saturdays mean that I work on editing my podcast, the NONFICTION Brand podcast, which comes out every Monday. New episodes every single Monday, but I don't exactly have them in the bank. I actually edit them on the Saturday before the Monday, so they're really super fresh. And this episode that's going to air on Monday features a friend of mine named Don Stanley, who's a instructor in the Life Sciences Communication Department at the University of Wisconsin-Madison, here right where I live. And we have this great conversation, and while my episodes typically are around 25 minutes, whenever Don and I start talking, it's going to go long. So I think this one is more like 30, even 31 minutes before I was able to kind of rope us in and get us done. That said, I'm going to write about Don in the book, and I'm going to start tonight. So let's head on over to Scrivener, the application I'm actually using to write this book. And you can see it right here. You can see the big window where you actually write the book, and over here where you've got your sections and chapters. And I've created a new section about Don Stanley. And this section, first of all, I'm going to give it a new flag because I'm color coding these things. And I'm changing the flag icon to yellow, meaning, hey, dude, you've started writing in this section, but it's not done yet. So that's exactly what I'm doing. And this section I'm calling Don Stanley, Teach What You Know and How You Know It. Because that's really what he's doing. And the other thing I think I want to do right away is get Descript working on a transcript of last week's episode and today's episode. So I'm going to open up Descript, which is actually an app on my MacBook Pro, but it links to a cloud service called, appropriately enough, Descript, that does a really good job of transcribing. Come on, why is this not remembering? Sign in using your browser. That's what I'm going to do, because that will remember my... It'll remember my user and password, which I never do. Sorry, something went wrong. Come on. No, dang it. All right, hold on. I got to take this off so I can go to my password manager and figure out what's going on here. Bear with me one moment because I don't want you to see all my passwords. Show there, copy. Let's see if that works. That should work. And for some reason it's not. Oh, that's not sign. I was hitting the wrong thing. So Descript is working because I'm not actually having to log in here. Hold on. And there we are. So Descript allows you to do something pretty cool. So I'm going to start a new project. And where are all my projects? So this should show me more than just one. What the dang deal? Add voice recording. Voice file from. Let's see if this works, because I'm not terribly impressed just this second. Open. All right, so this is going to grind through the podcast episode that I did with Don, which you can see the file right there. And I'm going to say detect speakers. And there are 2 speakers. And in a second, it's going to ask me what the names of those speakers are. I wonder where the rest of my files went. I have 7 minutes of transcription remaining. Oh, well, screw this. Descript, I'm a little upset because I've lost some files here, which I'm not digging. All right. Goodbye, Descript. We're not working on you tonight because you are not working right. All right, so that's what I was planning to do tonight didn't work. What else is new? What is it? The old saying, the plants of mice and men aft gang agley. Well, they definitely gang agley tonight. Teach what you know, Don. How do I want to start this? When you're an instructor at a major American university, it really pays to know your stuff. But that's a little bit tougher when you're on the pioneering edge of an entirely new discipline. That's the predicament Don Stanley was in way back at the start, right back near the start of the current millennium. There's so many double letters combos in there. The current millennium, when he began diving into a brave new world of communications called that was later called social media. He works in the life sciences communication department at the University of Wisconsin, at the University of Wisconsin-Madison, and has been leading the surfing the leading wave of social media in all its forms for years, and teaching his personally found findings to a mixed combo of avid social users and pretty aggressive social agnostics. Even after more than a decade of obvious proof of the value of social media, he still finds himself having to convince highly intelligent but scientifically skeptical young people that stuff isn't strictly a waste of time. Their skepticism is understandable given the fact that they are in a department focused on creating the next generation of science, biological science communicators, but it's interesting that a gentleman on the lee side, far side of life's Hill is having to cajole them into understanding what their age appropriate, that their similarly aged peers have embraced natively for years. Extended quote from Stanley episodes. Gentlemen? No, let's make it gentlemen. How about that? Gentlemen. Not plural, but gentlemen. We're saying that a gentleman on the far side of life's hill is having to cajole them to understand what their similarly aged peers have embraced natively for years. Only way to get a scientifically minded student to embrace the obvious show them the data. As an early academic adopter of social, Don's been able to create a great many deep relationships with many the recognized and easily recognizable social media thought leaders of today. All because he started to get to know them long before they became the stars they currently are. I think I can probably grab a quote from, yeah, there's a good quote. Good from the stars they are. Oops, I'm in the wrong. I got the wrong section here. I got to move this up. Not sure exactly where it'll go, but let's say it goes right there. 298 words. Sorry, I pressed the wrong button. I was looking for my mute button, and instead I hit the music button. Yeah, it's that kind of night. All right. I'm going to get rid of this because it's an extra document. Don Stanley, teach what you know and how you know it. So I'm going to have to go through those transcripts, and I think what I have to do is I've got to I got to figure out what's going on with the script, because I had a free account with the script, which is great because they let you try it out, and I think they give you 3 hours of transcription for free, and I think I burned through that. So what I need to do is actually pay for it for at least a month or two or something like that. So I think I'm going to do that, but I'm not going to do it in front of you because I might have to pull out my credit card, and I don't want to share that information with you. So I think I'm going to have to end this episode, deal with my Descript.com issue, and then maybe tomorrow night I'll be able to fill in the rest of this stuff and keep things moving forward. Because I will tell you this much, that one of my big strategies with his book is to leverage my podcast for everything it's worth, because I've put in a lot of time on this podcast. If you figure every episode of the podcast takes between scheduling, recording, editing, posting, promoting, every episode's between, let's say, 7 to 10 hours, and I've done 100, and this will be 110. That's a whole lot of time. That's 770 hours of work that I've already done. Well, I should get credit for that, or I should take advantage of all that work. And so I'm going to, by using Descript.com to transcribe every episode. And I think I may even start putting those transcriptions on my website so that it becomes searchable text via the Google. So again, leveraging the work I've already done, because that actually is one of the killer applications of nonfiction branding, which is you need to demonstrate who you are, what you do, and how you do it by actually doing stuff and getting credit for what you do. Like, if you take a look at the book cover, hey, DP, why is your photo on the book cover? Well, funny you should ask, because I actually explain it in the book, and the answer is it's not because I'm a raging narcissist, but it has to do with the fact that I'm stepping out of my own shadow and into my own spotlight to get credit for the work that I've done throughout my entire career. Because here's the thing. I worked for 2 decades plus anonymously, for lack of a better term. The people I worked with immediately knew who I was. The clients I knew directly knew who I was, but I was like an engine hidden behind the wall of a ad agency, and frankly, that did not serve me well, especially as I entered my later years in life. Well, I am here to tell you, learn from my piss poor example, and don't let it happen to you. So step out of your own shadow, or out of the shadows, and step into your own spotlight, and do it via creating a brand that is completely true and completely you. That's what this book is about. So I'm doing stuff like I'm doing a podcast. Well, guess what? I'm going to take the words from that podcast, and I'm going to put them in a book, and I'm going to take the transcript, put it on a website with searchable text, and I'm going to do everything I can to take advantage of all the work I've already done and will continue to do, building my personal brand. Because here's the thing about where we are in the world today. We don't live in a get credit world. We're in a take credit world. And that doesn't mean you have to be a jerk, but it does mean you can't sit and wait for someone to give you credit. That's what I did for 20 plus years of my career. And that's why I've been kind of in a bad position, because I did not take control of my own destiny by taking control of my own brand that I actually am. Learn from me, children, because you don't want to end up like me in your old age. Anyway, enough about that. I'm not bitter, believe me. Just a little sour. Not bitter, though. That's it for me tonight. I'm DP Knudten for the Nonfiction Brand podcast, which comes out every single Monday. This Monday's episode, as I said before, is with Don Stanley, my buddy, and great conversation. Went a little long, a warning, but that's always the case when I'm talking to Don, and I think you'll get a lot out of it. So look wherever you get your podcasts for free. Just search Nonfiction Brand, and by all means, like it if you do. Subscribe to it. Refer it to other people, but most of all, can you do me a solid? Refer or review the podcast wherever you get your podcast so other people can find it. Reviews really do work, so I could really use your help there. Thanks in advance for that, and also thank you for keeping me honest by coming down here or making me come down here to work on the book. If it weren't for you, I might not be here, but I am, so thank you very much. That's it for me tonight. I will see you tomorrow. But until then, theme music, take us on out.